Welcome to Coffee Meets Cloud, where three women in tech come together to share real stories about leadership, life, and everything in between. Join our hosts, Karami McCollum.
Oh, I love the voice note feature, y'all.
Cassandra Parker.
I'm hanging in there like a hair in a biscuit.
And Rachel Rogers.
We have the power to change it.
Your go-to source for candid conversations and unfiltered insights. So, grab your coffee, pull up a chair, and join the chaos.
Welcome back to another episode of Coffee Meets Cloud. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We're so glad you're here. I had to go ahead and start it because
we were talking in typical us fashion. We started talking and we're like, we should probably record these conversations.
Yeah. So it does look like my mic is coming out of my head, and it's because this is a cheap mic stand, apparently. And in order to move said mic stand, reposition it, you must use I'm drawing a blank. What are those?
Allen wrench.
Allen wrench.
How do you read my mind off?
I got you. I don't know.
Yes, you have to use an Allen wrench. And it annoys me. And something happens. I don't know if my kids come in here or what, but every time I come back in here, it's in a different position. It gets like lowered. So I've had to keep it up high so that if it just decides to go, it's still, I could still reach it.
I'll send you the one I got off of Amazon. You don't have to have an Allen wrench.
That's what you need is a non-Allen wrench microphone.
It's a come-up story. She started with a mic stand that required an Allen wrench. Now she's getting serious. She's about to have legit equipment.
Well, I found a chair for my podcast corner, and I'm going to get my whole little setup over there in the corner.
The other thing I was going to tell y'all about my morning when I said, okay, I'll just wait until we start this is this morning me is very upset with last night me because we needed to put our duvet cover back on the bed. And last night me was very tired. I had taken some melatonin. I was not here for it. So I said, Jessica suggested doing it in the morning after it had some time to fluff because it was wrinkly. And I was like, sure, that sounds great. I knew better. I don't know why I said that. Kicking the can down the road, as they say. And so, it's one of those tasks that you do so infrequently that you always forget how to do the burrito method. If you know, I could kick a puppy right now. I'm so annoyed. And then I hadn't taken my Adderall. So I had to run down here and eat a turkey stick so that I could take my Adderall.
Oh my gosh. This is why I don't do duvet covers. I don't. I have to buy a comforter or a quilt.
I have a love-hate relationship with duvet.
Cannot do it. But you know how hard it is to find an actual comforter or a quilt, like something that's not a duvet cover? You have to go out of your way.
Yeah,
true.
I don't have a duvet cover either because I've heard about all the not fun that they are.
It's really not.
But
it's not that bad. The burrito method is so simple. It takes.
But it's once you get it in there though.
That's the burrito method.
I know, but still, I just.
You have to have it. I
had one.
I say that, but I always have help. Jessica always helps me. If I were doing it alone, I would be very annoyed.
Yeah, you have to have an assistant. I also prefer an assistant to put the sheets on the bed.
Yes.
Because I hate the fight for this corner and this corner. And now that one came off and I'm running around. Oh, I hate changing sheets. That's why I like it when my cleaning ladies come. It's like, here's the new set. Thank you.
Fitted sheets are the worst.
Wait, can we talk about this though? Because you might think I'm crazy or that we're crazy.
Well,
but we stopped using a cover sheet. So like we have the fitted sheet on the bed. We no longer have the sheet between the duvet and us.
No.
And it's
No.
Well, let me tell you why this happened. But, Hear me out. The duvet cover is the same material as a sheet. It is a linen duvet cover. On purpose because we wanted to get rid of the sheet. The reason we wanted to get rid of the sheet is because my wife, although not diagnosed, I think she may struggle with some OCD tendencies.
I agree.
One of which of those is how the sheet is positioned on the bed and on her body at all times. I'm thinking to myself, you're asleep. why should it matter how much sheet is hanging off of your side of the bed while you're asleep? Like,
Correct.
okay.
Well,
But it would annoy her so bad. And I was like, why do we even have this? You just get
If
hot.
it's going to bother you so
Right.
much,
You just get
we'll
hot.
get rid of it.
Let's just get rid of it. And it's been wonderful.
see, my husband would be all about getting rid of the sheet too, but it's not because he's OCD. It is because he is afraid of the sheet, that he is going to get tangled up in it in the middle of the night and then not be able to get out of bed and fall out of bed. So he sleeps with one foot out of the sheet and everything else to make sure that at all times, if needed, in an
So that's
emergency,
his
he
irrational
could get
fear.
out. Yeah.
He should be
We all
irrationally
have
afraid
them.
of knives since he almost cut his hand off with the one
He
that my
didn't
husband
cut his
gave him.
hand off. Yeah, I mean, he was opening a bag of feed and got a little crazy with the cheese whiz. But to be fair, my husband, every time we have gone to like cut zip ties off of anything or anything like that, he typically slices his hand open. He's cut the tip of his finger off before when he was using the mandolin to get potatoes. And let me tell you, I just threw all of it away because I was like, I am not fishing your fingertip out of some potatoes. I'm certainly not cooking said potatoes
No.
after I have fished your fingertip out of there.
I mean, I'm pretty bad about when I'm cooking,
but-
cutting myself, but even Brent did say, he was like, when he told me yesterday that Jay had texted him and said that he had cut himself trying to open up a bag. And Brent was like, I told him though those things were really sharp, and they were. They're little tiny knives, but they're so sharp.
I mean, he loves it. He was carrying it around in the little leather pouch
little
that came
pouch,
in, and
yeah.
because otherwise it is super sharp and you would cut everything. But yeah, no, he has a certain activities, zip ties and cooking typically will get him cut. Two things that he does quite frequently.
Mhm.
So we always have the quick clot in hand,
Oh,
and
yeah.
if you've never heard of quick clot, look it up. I'll send you a
Say
link.
that 5 times fast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
Careful.
you have to be careful with it, and you have to be careful with how you put it on.
I don't know
because
what word you were thinking you might say, but
if you, my gosh. To be clear, quick clot has nothing to do with what the two of them are talking about.
hey, nobody
Nope.
knows what we're talking about.
But everybody knows what you're talking about. But if you put it on incorrectly, you can actually, when you go to take it off, reopen the wound. So you've got to make sure that you
wow.
do it right. Well, because
That sounds
it-
like something I would mess up.
it is like, well, it's for deep cuts that maybe you should probably go get stitches for, but you
Yeah, you
don't
just
want to
super
go
glue
get
'em.
stitches. Right.
You just need those
But you can't
butterfly
always
things.
Okay, so to be fair, like when you cut the tip of your finger off, there's nothing to butterfly. Like there's nothing to super glue. So this is in situations where it's too big for that to happen, and so you use quick clot for it. But when you go to remove the quick clot later, you can actually pull the clot out. So you got to be careful. And that is
Okay.
why emergency first aid is key. Read
Right,
up on it.
correct. Welcome to RN Corner this morning on
Except we
how
are not
to-
medical professionals.
not
and
medical
we are
professionals.
not giving you
Mm-mm.
medical advice.
No,
We
we
would
don't
be
even play them on TV.
FRNs, that would be fake nurses.
No.
I've gotten my
Unsubscribe.
Google degree like 4 times over.
100%. I'm going to get myself a sticker that says certified Google nurse.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that's what I was going to say because I thought I didn't know where we were going there and what we were certified on. Because we got a few things.
I'm
but
certified on a lot of things.
Yeah.
But back to the sheet issue, because we definitely squirreled. I was going to say, Liam doesn't sleep with a top sheet. He just has his favorite blanket because even the comforter is like way too hot or whatever. And so every time the cleaning ladies come to make up his bed, I know they think this woman makes this poor child just sleep on this bed with this one little blanket. But that's the way he likes to sleep. Speaking of not sleeping or whatever, I'm having to take him back to the doctor about his medicine because he is not sleeping. He's not eating. He's not sleeping. It is not working out. So he's doing great at school. But other things,
Stimulants are tough, man. You need to try something different.
This will be the 4th or 5th one that we've tried. I don't know. This one works really well, but he is literally so skinny now.
Is he on
50
extended
pounds.
release or he's still taking 2 a day?
He's on extended release.
That's what's doing it.
Yeah.
Don't
He
do
may have to
extended
go
release.
back to taking 2 a day.
Or just do one. And if he's starting to get a little squirrely by the end of the school day, oh well. At least he got through a majority of the school day. And then there's no risk that it hasn't, worn off well enough for good sleep.
Yeah, because I need to sleep. Because he comes and wakes me up after I get him to sleep. Now, because I've been giving him melatonin at night, and it works to get him to go to sleep, but it doesn't get him to stay asleep. And so then in 2-3 hours, he wakes up crying. And so last night I'm in his bed going, go to sleep, buddy, go to sleep. I want to go to bed.
I found that interesting. And again, this is not medical advice. I'm just repeating what his provider, Rowan's psychologist told us. We were always really worried about the melatonin thing and figured, really you shouldn't supplement with things like this. You don't want their body to think they don't have to do it on their own, and you don't want to create some sort of dependency. But it was interesting because she said up to a certain milligram, your body doesn't have that reaction to it. And since reading up on it, we've found a lot of feedback that says neurodivergent people across the board, not just children, should take melatonin. It is something your brain struggles to produce.
Makes
as
sense.
a neurodivergent person. Yeah. So I'm like, well, dang, I need to be doing it. I'll take it too.
Honestly, I got him the gummies that are like the magnesium. It was more for the magnesium than it was for the melatonin, but they came together and I was like, oh, we'll try this out. So it works. Like 30 minutes before
magnesium
bed,
can help you fall asleep too, though?
It's supposed to help you fall asleep. There's all kinds of things. This is the Kids Calm gummies, and he actually likes the taste, so we don't have to fight about it. He just has
the Calm never worked for my kids. They were like, oh, that was a great fruit snack. Moving on.
It works for mine, so I'm just going to let it go.
Let it ride, Clyde.
Yep.
The trial and error on medications or gummies or any of those
parenting
things.
at all.
Yeah. Well, in the length of time you give something to really try it out. The problem we have when you're a teenager is you decide when you just stop taking things.
Ooh,
but you don't say you've stopped taking things. And so I'm like, you can't do that. Like, now you're going to have to come downstairs. I'm going to have to see you do it. Those sorts of things. But I do get you don't want to be a lab rat. You don't want to constantly be taking different medications and just trying them out. And sometimes they make you feel not so good. And, especially when you're trying to do your thing and show people who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's definitely not fun. Not fun at all.
Mm-mm.
But
anyway, I feel like we somehow get into the parenting thing in every episode because there's always content to talk about in parenting.
Always parenting things.
Yes, that it is. But look, I think it's good. I think it's,
it's real life.
I mean,
if you're in the parenting season of your life, buckle up, Buttercup, because it's always something.
Yeah.
Even when they're from the time they're little, it's like my friend always said, there's a stage for every age. It's the facts. Everything that they're going through at every single different age. Last week we were going through, I don't want to go to school. And I think I'll just sit here and be difficult and not put my clothes on in the morning and I won't have to go to school. No, that's not how it works. You still have to go to school.
How it works.
It's not how it works. But we did have a much better day today. So small victories.
Small wins.
You got to take the small victories when you can.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I'm going to give y'all a hard pivot because there's something interesting that I read about. I don't remember if I did read about it. I don't remember if I saw a clip. Let me just,
we'll be the judge of interesting.
Yeah. That's very subjective.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I found it's one of these websites that's basically designed to ruin everything you think you confidently learned as a child. Okay.
Oh, it ruins it for you. That's great.
So it's called, there's a lot of these, but when I was researching, the one that I landed on was taughtwrong.org.
Things that we were taught incorrectly as
children. The whole premise is that things we were taught, or at least things we thought we were taught or grew up believing that aren't actually true.
So it could be things that we just colloquially said as a group. We all agree the fact that, whatever. Some
of them, okay, well, we'll get into it, right? But some of them are things we were taught that science has since learned are not true.
Okay,
and a lot
of
us have not caught up to it because we're not in school now. And how would you have heard that's not true?
Correct.
Some of the things are that kind of like that Mandela effect where we're all convinced we were taught it, but in
we never were.
actuality we weren't. It just was like a trend or a rumor that got picked up, and so many of us, heard it and believed it that we all thought we must have been taught it at some point. Does that make sense? So I have some of them.
Yes,
As
let's have
long
an
as it's
example.
as long as it's not like the new math of like 1 + 1 can be whatever you want it to be, as long as you can explain it. So I mean,
Is that really what that says, by the way? Is that
there is-
really what
Yeah.
I don't think that's an accurate representation of new math.
Let's not.
No, it's not in certain states, but it is in some states that it was a whole movement that was trying to get passed. So as long as it's not that, we're good.
Like,
All right.
if a tree falls in the woods and nobody's around.
Yeah,
Sounds
did it
like
really
that.
fall? Mhm.
Okay, all right, here we go. Because this was, and y'all need to look up the website at some point because it was fascinating. And some of these sites, well, I want to start by saying you have to be careful, okay? A site like this does not replace research and critical thinking. Like, just because a website like this says it's no longer true doesn't make that fact. So
You mean the internet doesn't always tell the truth?
I feel like I
Jeremy?
have to always have that disclaimer.
Well, and to be clear, I think one thing that's important too is at least Cassandra and I were born before Google.
Facts.
So things we learned.
First of all, back up. I was born before Google too. Thank you.
Well,
You
I
were.
don't. I mean, look.
I was in college
I
when I
don't
remember
know.
them introducing Google and
Right.
saying, we're going to use this new website. It's
Did y'all
called
see
Google."
that about Hayden Panettiere this morning, by the way?
I did.
No,
She
I
passed
didn't.
away.
What?
36.
Yes. 36 years old.
Oh, I did not.
They've not
see that.
released they've not released the cause yet, but they have
Yeah.
confirmed that
Oh, no.
she's gone. Yep.
That's terrible.
Sorry,
36.
thinking about millennial and all that made me
Yeah.
think of her
Wow.
because of the age. So, yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
Sorry to drop that bomb and pivot again, but okay. So, we're starting with an American classic. George Washington had wooden teeth. Did either of
Oh,
you
yeah.
learn that?
I did learn that.
No.
You don't.
That
You
must be
never.
southern Georgia
No.
thing. I don't
I've
know.
never
Yeah, I
even
did
heard
learn
that.
that.
Okay.
So
So,
he didn't?
his teeth were definitely not wooden. He had terrible teeth. By the time he became president, he had one natural tooth left, but his dentures were actually made from things like ivory, metal, and animal teeth, and some human teeth. Other humans, not his.
Ooh. I think I like the wooden teeth better.
I was gonna say that makes the story a little more disturbing than just thinking he had wooden teeth.
Maybe they told us wooden teeth because they didn't want us to have nightmares about animal teeth and other human teeth in the president's head.
Why are you even worried about the president's teeth?
Dude, I
I
don't
don't know why they cared to tell us that. They did.
I mean,
though.
that's
And
we
did
never
they
learned that.
tell us that, or to your point, did we hear it in something? And
Right.
I don't know that I was taught that. To your point, It
Which
may
could
have just
explain why
been-
Rachel doesn't know anything about it.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm looking at you too. Like that's weird.
Okay, well, hold on. There's another George Washington one. The story about him chopping down the cherry tree and saying, "I cannot tell a lie."
Yes.
That's also basically made
Yes.
up.
Now I was
Well,
gonna
I
say you have to
mean,
have heard
yeah.
that.
So
It's
apparently,
like the Chicken Little story.
yeah. Well, apparently, George Washington's childhood curriculum was just American fan fiction. So his dentures were made from real material. The cherry tree story appeared in an early biography after his death and isn't considered historical fact. Yep. Okay. You want another one?
Sure, I'm liking
right.
this.
All right. Swallowed gum stays in your stomach for 7 years.
I have
I heard
always
that
heard
one.
that.
Yeah.
So who told us this, first of all? Because I can't imagine
I feel
this
like
would
it
have been
was
on
my
the curriculum.
parents. No, I feel
Look,
like this was a parent thing to
I
keep you
feel-
from swallowing gum.
Exactly. The same as it was a watermelon seed. Don't swallow a watermelon seed or a watermelon will grow in your tummy.
Exactly.
That
It's
still
the
floats
same
around because my
concept.
kids have said that,
Mhm.
even though I've definitely never told
Right.
them
You have
that.
to spit them out.
Yeah.
It's
Just
Parents.
the way parents get you to spit out the seeds and not swallow them.
Or not
Yeah.
swallow your gum because it's gross and that's not what gum's intended for.
There are a lot of parental things that are lies. We
Well,
won't
your
name them all on
body.
this show.
So it is true that your body can't digest the gum base, but that doesn't mean it moves into your stomach and just signs a
Sits there.
7-year lease. Right.
Right.
They better
does
be paying
pass-
rent.
Right. It does pass through your digestive system and does eventually come out. It just doesn't get digested fully.
My parents used to tell me that gum would stick my intestines together. Like
Ooh.
if you swallowed it. Yeah.
That's horrific.
It's very scary. I was like, don't swallow the gum.
Well, I just want to say that the Mayo
crazy.
Clinic has confirmed the facts about the gum. So if anybody's wondering which part of it is true or false, Mayo Clinic did get involved. They weighed in.
Nice.
Okay. Here's another one I really liked. I know I was taught this one. That's first of all. Remember the diagram of the tongue? Like that sweet stuff is tasted here, salty stuff is here, sour on the sides, bitter in the back.
Yep.
No, the map is not real.
What?
Never even
Now
heard
I know
of this
I've
map
been taught
too.
Really?
No.
Did you
I
learn
never heard of
anything
this.
in Louisiana?
I learned a lot of things. I would
Any
say
weird
a
thing?
Not until she got to
thing.
college, did
Any
she?
weird things?
No.
I
We
do
learned
remember
weird
that tongue
things.
map.
I will tell you we learn weird things, but they're not Georgia weird.
Mm.
Like I think that's too like regional. I'd be super interested if you're listening to the podcast and like how many of these have you heard? Because I know we have
Yeah.
listeners from different states. It's probably that same,
For the
there's a
social
regional aspect
clips,
to
we
it.
might have to do it ourselves because I think we need to have a clip for each fact.
Yes, and say,
and-
have you heard
and the
this?
reality
Have
of
you
it.
heard this?
So that it chunks it up. But yeah. So the truth is you can detect the basic taste across your entire tongue. There can be differences in sensitivity in different areas, but they're not exclusive to like little taste neighborhoods on your tongue,
Taste
like we were taught.
neighborhoods.
I ain't got no neighborhoods on my tongue. I ain't never had neighborhoods on my tongue.
Well, this is one of those.
I got
that
neighborhoods. I got neighborhood drama, but it ain't on my
This
tongue.
one was in textbooks, and people thought this was true, and science has since learned it's not, and the textbooks have just not caught up.
There's no textbooks anymore, so don't worry about it.
That's
It's
true.
on the
Right.
computer.
Facts.
Apparently, some actually had like tongue worksheets
What?
to like map out. Yeah.
I do remember this in health, though. It was like in a book that was talking about your tongue. Like I can see the little map in my brain.
You want to keep going because the next
Yeah.
one I'm
Yeah,
very
keep
passionate
going.
about.
Keep
Okay.
going.
Passionate about this because I don't do it as bad anymore, but I used to be bad. Who did y'all grow up being told that cracking your knuckles is going to give you arthritis
Yep.
Yes.
or make
Yes.
your knuckles bigger?
Make
Yeah.
your knuckles bigger.
Nope, not true. Cracking your knuckles has not been shown to cause arthritis. So somehow there's an entire generation of parents who
Who gaslit
were just
all of
deeply
us.
irritated by listening to the knuckle popping and decided to invent some long-term medical consequence that comes from, yep. So no,
Yeah.
don't
Well,
worry.
see, I mean, it makes sense though, because like you think about going to the chiropractor, it would be the same thing of
Mhm.
saying that because you went to the chiropractor because they crack things that you would have arthritis.
So the fact check on this is
Yeah.
the Arthritis Foundation specifically lists knuckle cracking as not causing arthritis.
Nice.
Crack away, people. Crack
Crack it.
away.
You like to crack those knuckles?
Crack it.
Go wild.
There is something that feels good about cracking your knuckles.
No,
after
that's
it, like-
right. Release
yeah.
it. It's like a
Mhm.
gas or something. I forget
Yeah.
now. I looked it up one time. It's just some kind of buildup of
Yeah.
something in there, and it just releases it and it makes a popping sound.
Yeah.
My husband likes to pop my toes because I hate it. And so he'll just walk by and like grab a toe and pop it. I hate
When
that
you-
feeling.
When you just
Get
said,
married, they said.
when you just said like it releases gas, I was like, so you're knuckle farting? You're not knuckle cracking?
That's going to be a clip.
That's gonna be
Maybe not a LinkedIn clip.
no, that one needs to stay off. The
You better
LinkedIn.
watch it. Cassandra. You better
I got
monitor
you.
this.
I got you. Monitor where the clips go. Jeez Louise.
But it's true. If it's releasing gas, there you go.
I mean, it's true.
And then, it's not arthritis related.
Okay. I want to know if so is this one true or not? The Great Wall of China is the only man-made structure that you can see from space.
I've always heard that, but I
Never
don't
heard
feel
that.
like that's true. Because
Sometimes
didn't they
some people used to say the moon, like you could see it from the moon or space.
Well, didn't they? Well, I mean, this is more recent than whenever I was in school, but like the island in Dubai that looks like a palm tree, can't you see that from space? And that's definitely man-made.
I have not fact checked that one.
But that
so
would
I couldn't
be
tell you.
when was that created too? I think that's part of it too.
That's
when
newer,
were
Yeah,
yeah.
because these are
created.
specific. So that's the other thing
Yeah.
is some
These
of
are
these
old.
sites you put in the year that you graduated,
Okay.
and
Well,
it
what year did you put in? We need to know this.
or is it no the year you're born, not the year you graduated, the year you were
Oh.
born, and then it kind of bases what you were probably taught on that.
I
We don't need to
graduated in
talk about what year
2000.
I was born. You never ask a lady that, Rachel.
No, I said, what year did you put in? We graduated.
Well, that would also give my age if I told people what year I graduated.
Well, I didn't know if you did a blended one because there's 3 of us. That
I
all
just
graduated
figured
different
if I
years.
put mine in, it would gather you old
Yes,
dinosaurs
it
in
will.
the
Wow,
mix.
us
Okay.
old dinosaurs. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So NASA says
Mm.
that the Great Wall is not, in fact, visible from the moon, and it's actually difficult or impossible to see with the naked eye,
Yeah.
even from low Earth orbit.
Huh.
So I
Mm.
wonder the Dubai Island, like what size is it in comparison to the Great Wall? Because
Right.
that might be an indicator.
Or
Hey, I could
what
have
kind of
totally made that up
camera?
too.
Yeah.
Or
what
I
kind
could
of
have read it on a
camera are you
website.
using?
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, next.
Let's see. I don't think I didn't list any more. But what I find interesting is like I guess because it's been so long now and we've been separated from these things so long. It's like, where did we get these things from?
Right. Like, who told me these things?
You got them from the back of the bus, which was the original dark web. Before the
Yes.
internet existed, you went on the back of the bus and they were like, do you know? Have
Well,
you
yeah,
heard?
like was
I
it a
don't know
kid
that
on the
anyone-
playground who
Mhm.
just like walked up and
Mhm.
confidently said, "Hey, did you know that you could see blah blah blah?" And based on our age or just how that little kid presented it as
Facts.
such fact that it just in our brain it just computed as fact, and that's
Well,
just how
because
it
you
And I'm
didn't
so
work.
confident I would have probably repeated that with gusto to anyone that would listen and been like, hey, did you know?
Well, and you had no way of knowing it wasn't true. Like that's the flip side of when you would look at these things, you wouldn't have
That's
had a
true.
way to quickly debunk anything.
No. Because you couldn't
So-
go look in an encyclopedia for can you see the Great Wall of China from
First
space?
of all, right? Learn the stupid Dewey Decimal System to even know where you need to go in the stupid library, to even know what book you potentially need to maybe answer the question. And then you're
Right.
gonna read the whole thing and it ain't gonna be in there. You gotta get another one. Ain't
And
nobody
you
got
can
time for that.
you can ask
It's
an
so much
adult or
easier.
you can ask a teacher, but that doesn't mean they know either. Then they're
They
just
may have been
perpetuating
taught-
what they think they know.
Depending on what you were telling them.
Yeah, depending on the topic and
It
whether
might
they
have been like, hey, that's a good parenting thing. I'm just gonna go with that one. Yes, you cannot crack your knuckles. Like, no knuckle farting allowed. You only can, you're gonna get some arthritis.
Well,
Mhm.
listen, we
Oh,
were just
Lord.
talking about this last night at my mother-in-law's house. I don't remember why it came up. We're talking about homework. There's nothing wrong or nothing worse than doubling down with your child that you are right and they are wrong to only then find out you
You are wrong.
are wrong and your child is right and you feel about this small. That happened to Jessica checking Rowan's homework one night because we always check his math homework. And she was like, buddy, you got this one wrong. And he was like, no, I didn't. And she was like, yeah, you did. And they started getting in a back and forth. And she's going to kill me. But she went so far as she was frustrated at this point. And she was like, Rowan, I have already been through school. I know how to do math. And then he was like, but mom, like, he's like, he knows he's right. And he finally explains it to her in a way that it clicks. And she was like, oh, you
My bad.
are right. I am sorry. But when you've gotten that aggravated and you've doubled down like that,
It's a lesson to yourself to say, you know what, before I berate my child, maybe I should triple check to make
maybe
sure.
I should ask ChatGPT.
Right. Well, that's the other thing of like the way they teach math these days. Like I've tried to help Kinley and I look at it, I'm like, I have no idea. What
I
is this
appreciate you trying to
cube?
give her
What
the
is this
benefit of the
delta
doubt there,
mouth?
but it wasn't even that.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but whenever the boys were in middle school and they were
Yeah.
doing that box crap where you're
Yeah.
multiplying
Oh, yeah.
to divide and you've got to draw it around and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And they would try to explain to me the reason. And I'm like, or you could just put the numbers right here and multiply and add and ta-da! And we're like, I
Yeah.
can't.
No.
But I got the right answer. It doesn't matter. I can't
It's
function that way.
it's hard to help them. You got to watch them as they get older too, because you'll hear the, "Hey Google, what's the answer to da 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 da?"
Yep.
And then it's like,
that would 100% be my kid.
mhm.
I think the lesson here and with this segment is just because something feels familiar does not make it true. And I think that extends beyond just like facts you think you know. I think about like each person's lived experience too.
Yeah.
Can equate to this, especially if you grew up in a certain region, or especially like in a small town. I grew up in a small town, and it's kind of like its own little microcosm in a way.
Mhm.
It's just a bubble, and we're all just kind of in a thought vacuum. We're just bouncing the same logic and thought process and traditions between each other. And it wasn't until I started working like remotely with other parts of the country and eventually other parts of the world, and got old enough, like got to a point where I started to travel a little bit and just got to interact with all different walks of life and traditions and cultures and all the things, where you're like, wow, I mean, fortunately for me, it happened very young, like young adulthood, but that doesn't happen for everybody. And so just because it feels familiar to you doesn't make it the only truth, right? There are other truths out there.
Well, and that's just like when you go to a new company, right? Somebody will say, "We've always done it this way." And nobody knows why, right? But they're
Mhm.
very beholden to that belief, and you cannot change it. And it's that same concept of just keeping an open mind, whether you're
Yep.
in the workplace, whether you're in your friendships. The other thing is, I'd love to do a comparison. I don't know, maybe Karen, you can find us a site that does this already.
Okay.
If you were to compare how you grew up versus to how kids grow up today, because I think it used to be, right? It was very easy to be in those microcosms that you just talked about.
Mhm.
Now, I think you have the perception that maybe you're not in the microcosm, but what you don't realize is that the internet is curated to what you've
To
looked
you.
for.
Yep.
So I think people don't think that, oh, well, I'm just around this group of people. I think sometimes people think like, oh no, this is what the world thinks. Like I am validated in my beliefs because I've searched the internet and the internet said that I'm a French hand model. They don't do that secondary view of like asking for the alternate question.
Yep.
So I think it'd be interesting, like, I think it was super easy, to your point, to grow up the way we grew up, and you're surrounded by the same 20 people, and so you have those 20 people views. But now I think you have the perception that maybe you're including more, but you're not.
Yeah. Well, that thing you said about when you join an organization and everybody says, well, this is the way we've always
Right.
done it. We don't know why. It
Right.
makes me think of, y'all may have already seen this before or read about this before, but maybe not everybody has, that the 5 monkeys experiment.
Nope.
Have y'all ever heard about this?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So the story goes that researchers put 5 monkeys in a cage with a ladder and bananas at the top. Every time one of the monkeys tried to climb the ladder, all the monkeys got sprayed with cold water. Okay. Eventually, they figured out don't touch the ladder. Then the researchers started replacing the monkeys one at a time. A new monkey comes in, sees the bananas, starts climbing the ladder, and the other monkeys start to beat the heck out of him. Nobody is sprayed with the water. They just know we don't climb the ladder. Eventually, every original monkey gets replaced. So now they've got 5 monkeys who've never been sprayed with water, but they'll still beat the heck out of anybody who tries to climb the ladder.
Because it's
nobody knows
colloquial.
why.
It's their mob mentality.
It's
basically.
just what we do
It's
here.
just what we do here. We
Mhm.
don't touch the ladder.
Yep.
Wow.
So I heard that, but this, allegedly the experiment never actually happened. So back to I remember being taught about this experiment, but allegedly it never actually happened, or at least not the way the story is told.
Which experiment?
Is that the monkey
The
thing?
5 monkeys.
Oh, you remember being taught about that experiment? Really? But
there was a real in the way that the story is told. There was a real experiment, and it involved monkeys, but it's like all
There's
that
a
is not-
lot of experiments that involve monkeys. That doesn't really narrow it down.
yeah.
Hmm.
It's probably some like self-help guru latched on to some monkey experiment and turned
Changed
it into
it
this
to-
version.
Like
Right.
this seems like something you heard off of Dr. Phil.
Or
Like
this seems like a
What
game
you
of
trying to
telephone.
say about Dr. Phil?
This
No,
seems
I
like a
mean-
game of telephone. The first person heard the real monkey experiment, and then as it went on, it evolved into this whole now we
Well,
can
yeah.
all talk about mob mentality and
There
how,
was an experiment that involved monkeys and like trained
Mhm.
behavior and stuff like that. But
Right.
this specific experiment with the 5 monkeys and the banana and the ladder and the whatever did not, in fact, happen.
if you're a researcher that has some monkeys and would like to do this experiment, let us know how it goes. That'd be great.
But it sounds feasible. Sounds
I
plausible.
mean, it makes total
Look,
sense.
but
it
that's a great
sounds like
example
corporate
of just
America.
because it sounds
That's-
plausible.
I was going to
Mhm.
say that does sound like corporate America. Like
Yeah.
Mhm.
anybody new that comes in that says, "Hey guys, this really doesn't make sense. We should be able to get to the next level if we do these things," and they're all like, "No, because we don't do that."
Yep.
Period.
Mhm.
Don't be a monkey.
Don't be
Yeah.
a monkey.
But also, if
Be
you're
a-
in a cage of monkeys,
Still
still,
your life's choices. No.
well, no, but don't give up on the ideas. Like, I think that's the other thing of you enable the old world culture. The more you stay silent, the more you say, all right, well, I'll go along with this. But there will be other new people that come in. And when those other new people come in, you may have enough eventually to overthrow the mentality. But you gotta stay true to you. Don't just change just because somebody says. It reminds me of like the mean girls at school, right? When you go to school and they, oh, you can't wear that. Why are you doing that? Meh, meh, meh. And okay, fine, screw it. Be who you want to be, right? Like keep doing you, because there's enough of everybody to go around.
But I think too, like, there's a way to do it. There's a way to go about it. Read the room.
Yep.
Have some self-awareness. Ask the questions. Ask the probing questions. But there's a time and a place. There's a time when you say, okay, I hear you, and you move on and you wait and bring it up later. Because what I'm thinking about is like, you don't want to come off as one of those people who is always just questioning authority, period.
Right.
And you can never, like, you don't want to be the person that everybody thinks can never be satisfied and has always got something to say. Like,
Right.
wield the power responsibly, so to speak.
Yes.
Use it when it matters. Figure out the hills you want to die on. Don't die on every hill. Please. 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 I've worked with
Well,
people like that in the past.
But that's the reverse, right? You don't want to be confrontational.
No.
Right.
I think that's where there's a lot of things you learn in a lot of places. And I think one thing that the South is really good at is the art of persuasion.
Oh, yes.
Of,
Absolutely.
I can get you where I need you to go. It doesn't have to be a fight. Versus in some areas of the country, abrasion is the first tactic, right? If I just berate you enough, you will eventually do what I want you to do. No, I don't need that tactic. If you've
Mhm.
ever looked for a class, like if you're ever like, hey, this is the one thing I'd love to learn, go pick up an art of negotiation class. I think you two have probably heard me say that way more than anybody else, but that is the number one skill you need in any job.
Mhm.
Because if you know how to negotiate, if you know how to do a win-win negotiation where we're each going to get something we want, we may not get the ultimate thing, but we're going to make progress. That's the number one thing that will help you in your career.
And just life, right?
Yeah.
Like, and negotiating, even if you don't negotiate in your everyday job, negotiating for
Right.
yourself when you're trying to, make a move in your career or anything, like you need to know how to negotiate.
Or even when, back to the medical stuff, when you're trying to make progress with a physician that's maybe not hearing you, right? Or you're trying to negotiate with your spouse about what's for dinner, all of those things. Negotiation skills come in super handy. Or negotiating with kids. Again, like your audience is everywhere. And
I feel
everyone
so satisfied when I walk away from a situation. And I'm mostly thinking about personal situations. I walk away and I'm like, they don't even know that I had that intent. They don't even know I went into that wanting that outcome. I was so clever about it. They thought it was their idea.
Meanwhile, Jess is like, I know what she was trying to do. And it just wasn't worth the fight.
Yeah. She's like, I'm going to just keep letting her think.
Exactly.
Just keep
I'm
letting
gonna let her
you
think
got
she
it.
won.
Happy wife, happy life.
Exactly.
Exactly.
She's like, I ain't doing that. We do need to post the picture of our spouses. Maybe we'll do that in a little clip.
Oh,
So that
yeah.
I can see
can
the
do that.
people. We took a picture of them on CMC Crew Day,
We did.
and we did not post it.
Is this the first time we've recorded since we? I guess it is.
Yeah,
Since
because
we
we were
all
going
got
to
together.
record.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we recorded in advance on the last one.
There
Yep.
you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
CMC Crew Day was fun. Do not advise buzzballs, no matter what you've seen on the Tiki Takis.
They taste
They
bad. too.
taste horrible, and they have
I
a lot
tried
of
to tell
effects.
you.
I didn't drink one. But it was funny to watch that go around. I think we need to make like a buzzball alternative, something that actually tastes good.
Just put it in the shape of a ball. That's the main thing. I think that's why it has.
That's
No, I
why it
think
took
it's-
off.
I
It
think
was
it's
because it's a
just
to,
ball.
like, throw
I think
it.
it's
Yeah.
something you can toss. It doesn't have to even be
Right.
a ball, right?
Yeah.
Like if you can just have something you tossed.
Well,
Maybe we
maybe
can just
too,
start
like,
throwing Tupperwares around.
well, I was going to say for the purposes of the game, if something in the shape of a ball is coming at you, you might be more apt to catch it. You know,
That's the
I don't
point.
know. If you get a bucket to the face, you probably won't
True.
catch
No,
it.
I'm swatting it. Fortunately for me, they tried to hit me with those balls, and it wasn't. I'm just not coordinated. Something comes flying at me, I have a delayed reaction, and your girl just
It just
watches
whacks you in the head.
Just watches it cut. It landed it right in front of me, thank heavens. But it wasn't because I was thinking, "Oh, that's one of those buzz balls. Let me not reach out." I'm just terrible at hand-eye coordination and reaction time. You're not gonna get me. Ain't
I
gonna do it.
could see if we had like buzz buckets, because they have those little bitty buckets, that have the good Leo lids on them, or
Yeah.
the pouches, because you can make like your own Capri
Oh,
Suns.
like Capri Suns. Like, yeah. Like
Mhm.
adult Capri Suns. Yeah.
Adult Capri Suns. There you go.
Mhm.
Jeremy would
Or-
never ever get one.
Or let's just do liquid IV. Let's just skip the
Yeah.
alcohol part and just go straight to the recovery. Just don't even do the first one.
I'm not.
You've reached a
can't.
certain
Too
age.
old.
I can't liquid IV. I appreciate everybody who can, but it just makes me feel like crap. I've tried the sugar-free one and the regular one, and it just makes
Maybe
me feel
you
like
don't
crap.
need the electrolytes. Maybe
Well,
that's too many for you.
Like I've tried the other ones, like Water Boy, I can tolerate better.
Never even heard of that.
Yeah, well, we've tried alternatives to liquid IV because of the sugar and stuff in them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do really like the Capri Sun electrolytes. To bring it back to Capri Suns, if you haven't seen this, they now have electrolyte Capri Suns. So,
But have you seen that they have the Grillo pickle flavored liquid IV now?
I did see that.
I don't even know what that means. That's a
As
lot of words.
You don't know the
someone-
Grillo pickles? They're good.
No.
As someone who literally sips on pickle brine when my sodium is too low, my sodium intake, and I can tell because I start craving it. I start craving salty stuff. Anyways, that's a whole nother. I'll spend 10 minutes talking about the beauty of dill pickles, but the fact that it's in a liquid IV flavor now,
I've
about to
not
get
tried
some.
it. I'm not that big of a fan of pickled juice. Like I love pickles, and I love different flavored pickles.
I like different flavored pickles too.
Mm.
I really
The
like some
Sucker
garlic
Punch ones. Have you had the Sucker Punch pickles?
Mm-mm.
Have y'all
Oh,
done
man.
one of the pickle kits that has
What's
the?
a pickle kit?
Are you kidding? Google it right now. Google
Okay.
it right now on your phone. You have to see it.
Pickle kits.
You've never seen these for real?
No.
It was like a huge trend on social media for.
We're gonna go back to
ever.
localization. You obviously
no,
got in some pickle
no,
group,
no,
and now
No,
that's
this
how
was. I cannot believe they're kits. So it's a pickle that is like marinated in like a sour something. So they have blue ones, they have red ones. It's like a chamoy thing.
Yeah,
whatever.
I see the chamoy one.
And then
the
it comes-
original chamoy pickle kit.
And then it comes with all these things. So you core out the pickle to some degree. I mean, not all of it. You don't want just skin left. And then you stuff these sour candies and things inside the pickle and wrap it in the fruit roll up or whatever. It
no,
looks
I can't.
crazy.
I
Some people
can't.
love them. I didn't like
No.
it, but some
I
people
can't.
love them.
No, my pickle needs to come with other regular natural pickle flavored thingies like garlic or no.
But don't
fruit
knock it till you
roll-up.
try it.
I mean,
didn't like it.
because
No, I'm
I do
totally
like
knocking
bread
it.
and butter pickles. So I mean,
Right.
I might
I don't
be the
even like
audience
Bread
those.
and
for
butter
this.
pickles are fantastic.
Mhm.
I didn't know this. Okay, so funny story about bread and butter pickles. My mom's going to kill me, but now you all know her, so it'll make a little bit more sense. We were at Jason's Deli living in Louisiana. So this was back,
when dirt was new and God was
internet really wasn't a thing. And we're sitting there and my mom says, I said, what kind of pickle is this? Because it tasted funny. And my mom was like, oh, it's probably a bread and butter pickle. And my dad and I both looked at her and we're like, that's not a thing. And she was like, yeah, it is. Like bread and butter pickles, like it's totally a thing. And we're like, no. We're like, look, your mama was, you guys grew up so in the backwoods, right? She probably like took a piece of bread, put some butter on it, did it green and told you it was a pickle. Like there is no such thing as a bread and butter pickle. It wasn't until years later when we were living in Texas that we actually learned that bread and butter pickles really existed.
And Rhonda was right.
Rhonda's always right. That's the moral of that story.
That's the moral of that story. Rhonda was right.
Well, that seems like a great note to end on.
It does.
Rhonda is always right. Carrie, take us home.
Thank you guys so much for tuning into this week's episode. We are so glad you were here. We hope you enjoyed the conversation. We drop episodes every Tuesday, so we hope to see you next week. Until then, follow us on socials at Coffee Meets Cloud or come by the website at coffeemeetscloud.com. And we'll see you next time. Until then, keep your coffee strong. Bye.
Bye, guys.